And tens of thousands of people have evacuated their homes under threat from these deadly wildfires. In areas like Altadena, entire neighborhoods burned to the ground, leaving many people with little or no information about what's left of their home after they evacuated. Some, though, never left. Kevin Lyman, now a USC professor, best known for being one of the founders of the Vans Warped Tour, he stayed. His home survived. But that's not the case of many of his neighbors, and now he is providing your constant updates for everyone in his community.
Hey guys, the best way I thought I could do this was send a little update from Calaveras. At this point, our house is still standing. There's houses on both sides of the street down Mar Vista, as well as at the end of Calaveras, both ends on fire, but we're making a stand. Thank you for everyone's well wishes, and we'll hit you on the backside.
And Kevin Lyman joins me right now. Kevin, it's really good to speak with you. I mean, you've become something of a lifeline really for people in your community, giving updates on how things are progressing, what you're seeing. Your home survived. You've been staying in, I think you're in your van right now, outside of your house in the days since. What has the day-to-day been like?
Well, we've been cleaning up the neighborhood, doing the best we can. Just keeping an eye on each other's homes. Like you said, letting our friends know that things are okay. We're seeing a lot of utility vehicles. Totally understand when you say they don't want people up in these neighborhoods because they're doing a lot of work. First responders have been fantastic. You're seeing the best in people. There are people back here that are keeping people. I spoke to one person yesterday who went around and checked on 70 homes for people, and you see the best in people right now.
Kevin, what was it like living through this, and what has it been like seeing what's happened to your community?
Well, you have this, feeling of a survivor's guilt because it is little islands of homes. Like if you were right on our little central point, you think it was a regular day. And then you walk by these homes and you remember people's, gatherings. They're in the front yard of a home. The people got together. And then you see those bright spots where 2 goats survived down the street. And though the family lost their home, they were able to get in and come and get their goats and see the joy in their eyes that their goats survived. I mean, simple things like that. I'm starting to look at this as maybe these are survivor islands that will bring hope to the community and be strong. Are the few neighbors that are right here. There's about 6 or 7 of us on the street that 3 homes are here. And maybe we're going to be the anchor, I hope. I know we're going to go through our own things and we're give people hope. And it's been inspiring seeing the way people have pulled together.
Well, your resilience has been something that I know a lot of people have been leaning on in these days. The fire chief said that if the conditions are okay, that people may start to be able to return to evacuation areas come Thursday. Do you think people are prepared for what they are going to see when they return?
No, I'm hoping the mental health community can be here and that we give them support. I think, you can see the videos, you can see the films, but when they walk up and see what they have, I hope we have a strong rally of the mental health community to be there to support them because they're going to need it.
You've talked about seeing the best in people in the aftermath of this, in the midst of this, but we have seen and have heard people being frustrated and angry about how this disaster has unfolded, how it was able to become as bad as it has. Lots of questions about the water supply at the height of the fight last week. How are you feeling about all of this?
I think it's a little early. Of course, those emotions are raw. Everyone's nerves are raw right now, but I think it's going to take some deep view of our climate and how it has changed. These wind events are becoming more prevalent. I mean, we see it around the country in all these disasters that we're seeing happen. The way we live is going to have to change. We have to, and maybe that's going to come from the young people. The reports I'm getting from around, the young people are really rallying in Southern California. They're being industrious, just like this community was. This community was in a transition. There was a lot of young people coming here with new ideas and new visions for the city of Altadena, as well as that old established family, that generational wealth that have lived in those homes for generations. And I really believe that there's going to be people are going to take it into their own hands and realize that we have to make a change at the smallest levels, because sometimes maybe we can't depend on the people that are supposed to be in charge. We can make changes ourselves.
You can lean on your community, which is what a lot of people are leaning on you for right now. Kevin, thank you very much for coming on, and thank you for your time. It's great to meet you.
The California wildfires are placing a spotlight on the ongoing insurance crisis in the state. Some national carriers have declined to renew millions of homeowner policies. Others have canceled tens of thousands of policies before this latest historic fire. Many Californians turned to a state insurance program called the California Fair Plan for coverage. According to the most recent data from California's Department of Insurance, between 2020 and 2022, insurance companies declined to renew 2.8 million homeowner policies in the state of California. That includes more than 500,000 in Los Angeles County alone. Joining me now is Peggy Holter. She lost her home in the Palisades fire. Peggy, I am so sorry to hear that you have lost the home that I think you've had since the late 70s in the Pacific Palisades. This is a lifetime of memories, and home is always a comfort to all of us. What have you experienced because of this fire?
Well, first of all, you're right. I lived there since January 1st of 1978, and it was just up to about 2 miles up from Sunset Boulevard on Palisades Drive. And over the years, there have been little fires, and we knew there was a fire because the big one, the big Palisades fire, started just up the street from us. And then when we started down, we got the evacuation notices. We started down, and the road, which is the only way in and out of that canyon, was clogged with cars who had started down. And so we turned around and went back and waited, and finally we found that we could go out. And it was, it was terrible, but at a certain level, I just assumed, oh, it'll be okay, and then it wasn't okay. And our place, our little group of condos survived for about 24 hours, and then another burst came and just wiped them all out. Got up there for a few minutes the day after, and they were still smoking, and little fires were there.
Horrible to stand there and watch that, since you've had that condo for so long. It is your home. What happened when it comes to your individual condo insurance last year?
Well, for years, the whole condo complex was covered by Farmers Insurance, and then they canceled. And we also had individually homeowners things in our own condo. And then when Farmers quit, there wasn't any overall complex coverage. So then we each got something that would cover both the inside and outside of our homes. And then that went away about a year and a half ago. And then I tried to join State Farm. And after, I think about 6 months ago, they said, "We're sorry, your roof isn't any good." So I don't know how they decided my roof wasn't any good, but in fact, they canceled my coverage. And so right now we have just a coverage of California Fair Plan.
What are you going to do? What is that? Does that cover anything near what a State Farm or a private insurer would cover?
No. For a group of 36 units, there's $20 million, which is about $500,000 a piece. And the condos up there now are selling for 1.2, 1.3. And that's just the condo. It doesn't cover anything that you have inside. And of course, as you said, what I miss the most are all the photographs of all of my children's lives and my, trips and things like that. And that's gone.
It's just like punishment on top of punishment, the situation with insurance there. And it has been a crisis, obviously, before these fires because of other fires. What is your message to the politicians in California and to the insurance companies, frankly, about this issue? What would you like to say to them?
Well, the insurance companies are not going to lose any money. They're not, because we know that they are fixed and they have reinsurance and all that sort of thing. And I feel that the California should have laws that say that companies cannot just drop you when there are no alternatives. That's insane. You know, because people think, oh, the Palisades, that's rich people. But it's not just rich people. It's older people who've lived in their homes since they cost, $100,000. So there are people who've lived there for 40 and 50 years, and now they've lost everything. My home was what I'd hoped to leave to my children, and now that's gone.
Peggy Holter, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for just the crisis that has been caused in your life, for the loss of your longtime home. And on top of that, for the fact that all of a sudden you don't have the insurance that you need to try and deal with this. It is a true punch in the gut for so many homeowners across California. Peggy, thank you so much for sharing your story with us this morning.